I wasn't necessarily sure what happened at first, but then upon second watch, you kind of realize, oh, okay, something basically like unlodged that basement door latch.
Right.
And
So you're watching this from a phone still.
a large phone. Okay.
A large phone.
A large phone.
That's correctness.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And so basically, like, they see, like, because they tried to open that kind of basement door before and they could not.
Right.
And
The
so
chains
now
around it.
the chains are around it. So now all of a sudden they hear the noise, they see, wait a second, and Alicia, swims underwater to get to that area and realizes that the door is now able to be opened. So she gets Charlie to come over. They open the door and they make their way out into the darkness. And but they do see a walker approaching them, which Alicia shoots. And what Charlie points out is that it was the walker that was impaled, the
Right.
walker that we've been seeing throughout the whole episode, hanging off of this branch. It seems like the winds finally kind of knocked that branch down, and that walker on that branch was the key to basically allowing them to live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on here too.
Yeah.
Because there's two specific things. One is that the very thing that Charlie was trying to end her life with
Is what saved it.
is what saved her life. And she says it.
And she says it. Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is the gun that Alicia uses to put the walker down was the same gun that that Charlie intended to shoot herself with.
Right.
And thus it's kind of like why I wrote these two things down and I kind of went backwards. I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense. She grabs Charlie's hand because it's basically these two things going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. One's in real life and one is in concept. Is that as long as you're not them, the walkers, you're us. And we've all done stuff. We just gotta. You have to live with it, move on, and try to make something. Just try to get everybody together and bring people in and all that stuff. So no one's gone till they're gone, and so that just kind of brought it home to me. Just you having these two mechanisms: this walker that was going to be used for suicide, and the gun that was going to be used for suicide, being used to protect.
Yeah.
So it's just so it's just, riddled with metaphor.
There's a lot of metaphors.
It's like an F ton, which I won't say.
Good for you.
This is a G-rated show today.
I know. It's very emotional. It's an emotional show.
Yeah. So, yes. And I literally wrote this. It's it's literally the equivalent of the blunt end for the living and the pointy one for the dead. So we're prioritizing. Mm-hmm. And it's also Rick's speech to everyone in the field, at the end of All Out War. The dead are the enemy. There has to be something after. It was like a mini All Out War.
Yeah, that is true.
I like that there's I like how these concepts, first of all, are kind of universal for one thing, but it's also like you can really take it and say, okay, if they're not universal, there's a concentration of these concepts in both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. Is like there has to be something after.
Right.
It's us versus them, meaning living versus dead, not each other.
Right.
It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.